Notes 2E, parallel lines. Get your Pear Deck foldable, write down the objective and the essential question. Objective: I can write an equation of a line that contains a given point and is parallel to a given line. Essential question: how could I use a line to find any other line parallel to it? Before we start, let's go over the Pear Deck expectations. Get your Pear Deck foldables for the Focus Teaks covered. Go to joinpd.com and join the session during class. Record answers and work for you do examples on the Pear Deck slides. Complete this before you do the classwork and after you do the homework. Watch the video quietly with headphones or follow along on the board. On this slide, which of these two places do you like better? Do you like the Highlands or the Parks Mall? Drag your icon over the one you like the best. Vocabulary: parallel lines, same slope. They are two lines that will never touch. The abbreviation of parallel slope is M with the two slashes. That's for parallel lines. Slope, rate of change, which is the change of y over the change of x. Write this down on your Pear Deck foldable. Find the slope of the line parallel to the given line. The first one, we have y equals negative 1/4 x minus 2. Your slope m is the coefficient in front of x, when it's in the y equals form. The coefficient is the quantity of a variable. That slope is negative 1/4. Parallel lines have the same slope. So our parallel lines slope is negative 1/4. Let's look at the next one. Y equals 5. Y equals 5 is a horizontal line. Horizontal lines have 0 slope. And parallel lines, same slope. The slope is also 0. Let's look at the last example on this slide. Y equals 5/3x plus 1. Our slope is 5/3 because that is what's in front of the x, when it's in the y equals form. Parallel lines, same slope, 5/3. On your Pear Deck slide, do this one. Find the slope of a line parallel to the given line. Y equals 2x minus 5. You should get 2 as your slope for both. Let's look at the next one. Write the slope-intercept form of the line parallel to each given line that goes through each specified point. So it goes through the point 3, -2, and is parallel to the line y equals 2/3 x plus 5. So we know our parallel slope is going to be the same. So we have 2/3 and then x. We don't know what our b is yet, though, so we need to solve for it. Let's plug in the point. We have x and y. So -2 equals 2/3 times 3 plus something, our b. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. To get b by itself, we need to subtract 2 from each expression. So we have -4 equals b. So our equation is y equals 2/3 x minus 4. So the easy part is finding that parallel slope. Once you find that parallel slope, you already eliminate half of your answer choices. From there, you have to solve for b by plugging in the y and the x that are given and solving for b. Okay, on your Pear Deck slide, go ahead and try this one on your own. You should get y equals 5/2 x minus 4. So it goes through the point 2, comma 1, so that's your x and y that you plug into the new equation. It's parallel to 5/2 x plus 3 equals y. Your parallel line has the same slope, so we write that. Solve for b. Plug in 1 for y and 2 for x. b equals -4. On the next slide, type your daily reflection. How could I use a line to find any other line parallel to it? Type your responses in complete sentences. Notes 2F, perpendicular lines. Get the Pear Deck foldable, write down the objective and essential question. Objective, I can write an equation of a line that contains a given point and is perpendicular to a given line. Essential question, how could I use a line to find any other line perpendicular to it? On your Pear Deck slide, which do you like better, science or art, or both? Drag the icon where it should go for you. Vocabulary. Perpendicular lines. Flip the fraction and change the sign. There are two lines that will form a 90-degree angle. The abbreviation for perpendicular slope is M with an upside down T. Slope, the rate of change, which is the change of y over the change of x. Write this one down in your Pear Deck foldable. Find the slope of a line perpendicular to the given line. Y equals 0. So you have a horizontal line, a 0 slope. A line perpendicular to that would be an undefined slope because it's a vertical line. That's not a function. X equals -4. Well, X is a vertical line that's undefined. Your slope is undefined. It's also not a function because it fails the vertical line test. So the slope perpendicular to this would be 0. It would be a horizontal line. Let's look at the next one. Y equals 2x minus 1. Your slope for this would be 2. Your perpendicular slope you flip and multiply. You have nothing in the denominator, so you assume it's a 1. 1 over 2. And then you change the positive to a negative. Okay, now you try this one. Find the slope of a line perpendicular to the given line. Your original slope is -2/3. You flip the fraction and change the sign for your perpendicular slope. So your perpendicular slope will be +3/2. Let's do the next one. Write an equation of slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the point 1, -4. It is perpendicular to the line represented by y equals 1/9 x plus 2. So first we want to identify our slope and our perpendicular slope. Our slope is 1/9. So if we found the perpendicular slope, we flip the fraction and change the sign. So it's -9 over 1, also known as -9. So y equals -9 x plus something. Let's find that something by plugging this point into our new equation. So -4 equals -9 times 1 plus b. We're solving for b, so we want to get it by itself. We want to isolate it. Negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. From here, we will add 9 to each expression, each side of the equation. 5 equals b. So our equation is y equals negative 9x plus 5. Try this one on your Pear Deck slide. When you're finished with it, check the answer. Pause the video, try this one on your own. Your slope is 1/3, so your perpendicular slope, you flip the fraction, change the sign, becomes negative 3/1, also known as negative 3. So our answer, our equation should be y equals negative 3x minus 5. After we found our perpendicular slope, we plug it into the formula. Negative 5 equals negative 3 times 0 plus b. Solve for b, you want to isolate it. Negative 3 times 0 is just 0. So you have negative 5 equals b. Go to the next Pear Deck slide. Type your daily reflection. How could I use a line to find any other line perpendicular to it? Type your answer in complete sentences.